Hello everyone, welcome to today's lecture. So in today's lecture we will start with hydrocarbons. First of all, what are hydrocarbons? Hydrocarbons are organic compounds containing hydrogen and carbon. Okay, so in the other lecture we studied about organic compounds and inorganic compounds. So inorganic compounds have basically hydrogen and carbon, besides other elements are also there. Okay, but the basic one is carbon and hydrogen. The most basic carbon, hydrocarbon, is methane. First I will explain about the atomic number of carbon. Atomic number of carbon is 6. Its electronic configuration is 2,4. That means in the first shell it is having 2 electrons and in the second shell it has 4 electrons. So what will it do? It will go for sharing 4 more electrons. It needs 4 more electrons, so it will go for sharing 4 electrons with 4 other atoms. Okay, so I will show you carbon. Its atomic number is 6. Its electronic configuration is 2, 4. Its electronic configuration is 2, 4. That means it is having 4 electrons in its outermost shell. So for that 4, I am drawing 4 lines here. Okay, these are the 4 electrons. Understood? These are the 4 electrons which it wants to share. Okay, this is 1 electron, second electron, third electron and fourth electron. It is going to share that 1 electron with another hydrogen atom. Hydrogen is having only 1 electron and that 1 electron it is shared with that carbon. Okay, there is another hydrogen atom, another hydrogen atom, another hydrogen atom. Okay, so this is methane. This is the basic hydrocarbon, the very first hydrocarbon, which is having 1 carbon atom and 4 hydrogen atoms, in which 1 carbon atom has formed 4 covalent bonds with 4 other hydrogen atoms. Okay, now carbon has a property of bonding with itself. That means these are the 4 electrons of carbon atom. This carbon atom can bond with another carbon atom. Okay, it can bond with another carbon atom which is again having 4. Understood? The 1 electron of this carbon atom and the 1 electron of this carbon atom, they have formed a covalent bond. Okay, so this is said to be a carbon-carbon single bond. It is said to be a carbon-carbon single bonds. The other electrons, these are the other electrons. These electrons have bonded with hydrogen atoms. Consider it is bonded with hydrogen atoms. If it is bonded with hydrogen atoms, you may see this will form, okay, CH3. This is CH3. There is a single bond and CH3. This will become CH3, single bond, CH3. Now you may see a single bond is shown by a single line. So saturated hydrocarbons, there are 2 types of hydrocarbons, saturated and unsaturated. Saturated hydrocarbons have CC, single bond. C stand for carbon. Okay, so it is having carbon-carbon single bond. What do you mean by single bond? Only one electron of each carbon atom have been shared between carbon and carbon. Okay, here the bond which is mattering is in between carbon and carbon. So there is a carbon-carbon single bond in saturated hydrocarbons. Example is methane. I have drawn methane here. It is CH4 and this is ethane. It is CH3, single bond CH3, also written as C2H6. So there are 2 atoms of carbon and 6 atoms of hydrogen. Next is about unsaturated. In unsaturated, there are carbon-carbon double bonds or carbon-carbon triple bonds. Okay, so I will show you. Basically, carbon is having 4 electrons in its outermost shell. I will take another carbon atom which is having 4 electrons in its outermost shell. Now you have to form a double bond between these 2 carbon atoms. So this is a single bond. I am cancelling this. So there will be a double bond. Okay, there will be a double bond. So you have to see to it that one carbon atom is having 4 lines against it. Okay, 4 lines around it. So this is 1, 2, 3 and 4. For this carbon atom it is 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now this is common. Why it is common? One electron of this carbon atom and one electron of this carbon atom have been shared. Now here also there is one electron of this carbon atom and the one electron of the other carbon atom. So 2 electrons make one bond. Okay, 2 electrons of 2 different atoms make one bond. Okay, and if 4 electrons are there, then it makes a double bond. If 6 electrons are there, then it will make a triple bond. First we will discuss about double bond. So this is a double bond between carbon and carbon. The remaining is forming bonds with hydrogen atom. This will be CH2 double bond CH2. CH2 double bond CH2, also written as C2H4. What is its name? Its name is ethene. Okay, also called as ethylene. Next example is of propene. So for propene you may see there is a double bond between carbon and carbon. For propene there are 3 carbon atoms. Okay, so there is a carbon-carbon double bond. Now in propene there are 3 carbon atoms, but there is only one double bond between carbon and carbon, between any 2 carbon and carbon. That means the double bond could be in between these 2 also, the double bond could be in between these 2 also. Okay, so if 2 of them have got engaged, how much is remaining? 2 are remaining for this. For this carbon atom, 2 have got already engaged on this side and 1 on this side, and 1 is remaining. And for this carbon atom 3 are left. So this becomes CH2 double bond CH single bond CH3. You may see CH3. Okay, I have written the other way around here. The double bond is here. If the double bond is here, this will be okay CH3. This will be CH3 CH double bond CH2. Okay, CH3 CH double bond CH2, and the molecular formula is C3H6. Okay, so basically what you have to remember for this year, actually this chapter is there in detail in 10th standard, but this is the basic thing which you may understand now itself. So basically carbon has 4 electrons in its outermost shell. It can form carbon-carbon single bond, carbon-carbon double bond, or carbon-carbon triple bond. In a single bond, 1 electron of one carbon atom and 1 electron of another carbon atom. So there are 2 electrons. In a double bond, there are 4 electrons, and in a triple bond, there are 6 electrons. Okay, 3 of one and 3 of the other. Understood? So saturated means CC single bond, unsaturated means either double bond or triple bond. Now I will show you the example of triple bond. Ethyne means it is a triple bond. So 3 lines have already got engaged. 1 is left. So this is CH triple bond CH. Okay, CH triple bond CH. The molecular formula is C2H2. Propyne. Okay, there are 3 carbon atoms. I have put the triple bond here. I can write it here also. Okay, so this is a triple bond. So for this carbon atom 1 is left. Okay, 1 electron is left. For this carbon atom 3 has got engaged here and 1 this side. So it doesn't have any free electron left. This is having 3 electrons, free electrons. It can bond with hydrogen atom. So this will be CH3 single bond C triple bond CH. CH3 single bond C triple bond CH, and the molecular formula is C3H4. Okay, so for this year you have to study this molecular formulas. Okay, the molecular these are said to be condensed structural formulas, but your question could be write the chemical formula of ethyne, propene, or it could be an objective question, or you have to write the classification of hydrocarbon. It is a 3 mark or 2 mark question. Basically what you will have to write, what are hydrocarbons? Hydrocarbons are organic compounds containing hydrogen and carbon. It is classified into two, saturated, unsaturated. Saturated compounds are having carbon-carbon single bonds. Unsaturated hydrocarbons are having carbon-carbon double bonds or carbon-carbon triple bonds, and you have to write examples of at least one example each of carbon-carbon single bond, carbon-carbon double bond and carbon-carbon triple bond. Okay, this will be your answer for a 3 mark or a 2 mark question. Okay, now we may move on to the textbook. 143, page number 143. There is a topic which is again a 3 mark question, properties of covalent compounds. You may mark that. Covalent compounds have low melting and boiling points. Generally, they are insoluble in water and soluble in organic solvents. They are poor conductors of heat and electricity. Now, this is a question which is very frequently asked. It is not there in the exercise. You may mark. You have to learn it. A very frequently asked question. Next is use your brain power question. Does an electric charge form on atoms when a covalent compound is formed between them? No, there is no electric charge. Why is a single bond between two carbon atoms strong and stable? Okay, so it is said to be stable because it is less reactive. Now, why it is less reactive? Because there is lesser chances of losing electrons. If more than 2 electrons have been shared, then they have a tendency. Consider there are 4 electrons. That means there is a double bond. If there is a double bond, means they are having sharing of 4 electrons. Okay, now these 4 electrons, they have a tendency, carbon has a tendency to lose those 2 electrons because it is happier. We can consider so, we can think so, it is happier with a single bond rather than a double bond or a triple bond. So the compounds with single bond are said to be less reactive. They are considered to be more stable. Okay, now next, try this solubility of carbon. You have to take water, kerosene, cooking oil, coal powder, etc. You have to take this in different conical flasks and stir with the help of a stirrer. Okay, you have to mix water and you have to stir it. Okay, now what is the question on the next page? We will see 144. In which of the solvents, water, kerosene and cooking oil, does the coal powder dissolve? Okay, coal powder does not dissolve in any of these solvents. What inference will you draw about the solubility of carbon? Carbon does not dissolve in water and organic solvents. Actually, the questions have been deleted for this year, but you may write the answer, you may go through it. Next is reaction of carbon with oxygen. Carbon, when it is burnt, it reacts with oxygen to form carbon dioxide. We will see what is the experiment. They have taken coal, they are burning it. What will happen when you burn it? With which gas in the air does the coal react on igniting? On igniting, it will react with oxygen in the atmosphere. What is the substance formed? The substance formed is carbon dioxide. What change takes place in the litmus paper? If issue a moist litmus paper, then moist blue litmus paper, it will turn red. Okay, so if you show a moist blue litmus paper to that gas which has been liberated, then it will turn red. But instead of a moist litmus paper, if you show a dry litmus paper, it won't show any change. So the term moist is very important. Write down the chemical reaction taking place in the above procedure. It is C plus O2 gives CO2. Okay. Next, apparatus. You have to take a test tube, straw, lime water, etc. and you have to blow for some time. Now when you are blowing, you are providing carbon dioxide gas into lime water. Now what is the question? What did you see? What can you see? We may see that the lime water in the test tube turns milky. Okay, the lime water in the test tube turns milky. What might be the reason behind it? The reason is the carbon dioxide which you are blowing, it will react with lime water to form calcium carbonate, which is white in color. So it is a precipitate. Now what is a precipitate? The solid form. That means this is the reaction which has been given CaOH twice. This is lime water. When carbon dioxide is blown into it, it will form calcium carbonate in the form of a solid, that is a precipitate, and that precipitate is white in color, due to which we tell that the lime water turns milky. Why the lime water turn milky? Because of the formation of calcium carbonate. Okay. Now the next is carbon dioxide. Now in our syllabus we have the study of occurrences, properties and uses of carbon dioxide and methane. Okay, that we will cover in this lecture. The first one is about carbon dioxide. Molecular formula is CO2, molecular mass 44, melting point is minus 56.6 degrees Celsius. These are all objective questions. Occurrence. Carbon dioxide occurs in air in the free state. Free state means as carbon dioxide gas in about 0.03%. Exhaled air, that means the air which we exhale, it contains about 4% of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is present as salt in chalk and Shahabad tiles, marble, limestone. CO2 is given out in the combustion of wood and fossil fuel, coal. Now, page number 145, figure 13.11, preparation of carbon dioxide. Now, how can you prepare carbon dioxide in a laboratory? The apparatus has been shown. There is a round bottomed flask. Okay, there is a thistle funnel and a bent tube. That bent tube is connected to a gas jar. Okay, inside the round bottomed flask, what they have taken? They have taken calcium carbonate inside the round bottomed flask, and through the thistle funnel they are adding dilute HCl. Now what is HCl? HCl is hydrochloric acid. Okay, it is dilute HCl which is added. Now inside the round bottomed flask, the dilute HCl will react with calcium carbonate to form calcium chloride, H2O, that is water, and carbon dioxide gas. The carbon dioxide gas will rise above in the round bottomed flask. It will pass through the bent tube and it is collected in the gas jar. Okay, so this is the setup which is used for preparation of carbon dioxide. This is a very important 3-mark question or a 2-mark question. You could be asked, the diagram could be asked for 2 marks, the reaction for 2 marks, or the complete question for 3 marks. Okay, the reaction is very important. You may see on page number 145, the reaction has been given. CaCO3, that is calcium carbonate, plus 2HCl, that is dilute hydrochloric acid, gives CaCl2, that is calcium chloride, plus H2O plus CO2. The upward arrow shows that it is a gas. What is a gas there? CO2 is a gas which is formed. Next, the physical and chemical properties of carbon dioxide. Now the question could be, write the physical and chemical properties of carbon dioxide. Either this, or the question could be, they could give you the incomplete boxes as shown on the page in the textbook. Okay, so according to that only they will give you the question. So first one, observe the color of the gas. There is a box below, color and odor. Okay, odor, you may write in front of odor, CO2 is odorless. Okay, it does not have any odor. Taste, okay, it is tasteless, and color is colorless. So in front of odor you may write odorless, in front of color you may write colorless. Now we may move on to the chemical properties of carbon dioxide. First is about burning candle. Okay, so if you show a burning candle to that gas jar, it will get extinguished. So what will you write in front of that? You have to write carbon dioxide will extinguish the flame. I repeat, carbon dioxide, that is CO2, will extinguish the flame. Universal indicator, you have to write turns the color to yellow orange, turns the color to yellow orange, which shows that it is acidic. Okay, you don't have to write which shows that it is acidic, you have to just write it turns the color of universal indicator to yellow or orange. Next is lime water. In front of lime water you have to write lime water turns milky. Water, it is sparingly soluble in water. If soluble, it forms carbonic acid. You may write sparingly soluble in water. Litmus paper, write moist blue litmus paper turns red. So, if the question is what are the chemical properties, the first chemical property will be carbon dioxide will extinguish the flame of a candle. Second, it turns the color of universal indicator to yellow-orange. Third, CO2 turns lime water milky. Fourth, CO2 is sparingly soluble in water. Fifth, CO2 turns moist blue litmus red. Okay, you have to write it this way. Next is use your brain power question. Is the density of CO2 more or less than that of air? The answer is CO2 is denser than air. Now the next page, page number 146. Some more chemical properties of carbon dioxide. The first chemical property is that sodium carbonate is formed. So how can you prepare sodium carbonate? If sodium hydroxide, if carbon dioxide is passed through sodium hydroxide solution, then you get sodium carbonate. Okay, this is a 2-mark question. The chemical equation will be asked. The next one is if you pass carbon dioxide through sodium carbonate solution, you will get sodium bicarbonate. Again, the chemical equation is important. They can ask you the reaction. Next is write down the equation of chemical reaction taking place between water and carbon dioxide in the above experiment. So we have discussed already that carbon dioxide is sparingly soluble in water. Sparingly means little, okay, slightly. So if it dissolves in water, it will mix. The reaction has been given here. CO2 gas, if it is mixed with H2O, that is a liquid, you will get H2CO3, which is aqueous. Aqueous means solution. Okay, so CO2 mixed in water, that is the solution of CO2. We can say like that. It is H2CO3, which is carbonic acid. Next is write down the equation of chemical reaction taking place on putting lime water in the gas jar of CO2. So CaOH twice, the reaction has been given here, the same reaction. That means when you pass carbon dioxide through lime water. Lime water is CaOH twice, which is aqueous, that means dissolved in water, plus CO2, which is a gas, you will get CaCO3 in solid form. The downward arrow shows that it is a precipitate, and H2O, which is a liquid. The reaction you may write there, it is a 2-mark question. Now the uses of carbon dioxide, very important question, you may learn any 4. CO2 is used in making aerated drinks. Solid CO2 is used in cold storage and also to keep milk and milk products and frozen substances cool during transport. You might have heard about solid ice. Solid ice is carbon dioxide. It is also used for getting special effects of mist in dramas and movies. CO2 obtained by chemical reaction or kept under pressure is used in fire extinguishers. Liquefied CO2 is used to remove caffeine from coffee. Liquid CO2 is used as solvent in modern eco-friendly dry cleaning. Plants use CO2 in air for photosynthesis. Any 4 you may learn. Next is about internal structure of fire extinguisher. Diagram is a 2-mark question and the complete question is of 3 marks. Okay, they could give you the diagram, ask for labeling and the reaction, or just to write the chemical reaction, okay, or to draw the structure of internal structure of fire extinguisher. So you may see inside the fire extinguisher there is a capsule. Inside the capsule there is sulfuric acid and there is a powder in that chamber, in that cylinder. Which powder? It is of sodium bicarbonate. Now, whenever there is fire, you have to break the capsule by pushing the knob. Okay, you have to pull the knob, and when the knob is pulled, the capsule inside breaks. The capsule inside breaks, and the sulfuric acid which is present in the capsule, it will fall on that sodium bicarbonate powder. Okay, both will react. Now, what is the reaction? You may see 2NaHCO3 plus H2SO4 gives Na2SO4 plus H2O plus CO2. Okay, upward arrow shows that it is a gas. That CO2 is liberated liberated outside, and due to that CO2, the flame, the fire could be extinguished. Okay, so that is the functioning. The first paragraph is very important. CO2 based fire extinguishers do not cause corrosion and are non-conductors of electricity. Therefore, these are used when electrical and electronic equipments catch fire. You may underline, it is a give reason question. So as they are non-corrosive and as it does not conduct electricity, it is used when there is a fire, short circuit fire, which is caused due to electricity. Next, CO2 based fire extinguishers are used to extinguish small scale fire. It is beyond their capacity to extinguish a big fire. Okay. Now we may move on to the next page, that is about methane. Methane, the properties have been given. It occurs in natural gas to the extent of 87%. Decomposition of organic matter in the absence of air produces methane. Methane is present in biogas. It is found in coal mines. Methane is found on the surface of marshy places. That is why it is called as marsh gas. Underline, it is a give reason question. On heating a mixture of hydrogen and carbon monoxide gas at 300 degrees Celsius in presence of nickel as catalyst, methane gas is formed. Fractional distillation of natural gas gives methane in pure form. Now I am just reading out these points because all these are objective type questions. You have to just go through, understand those statements. Okay, but you have to learn minimum 4 points of the properties and uses. Okay, that you will have to learn. Physical properties of methane: melting point minus 182.5 degrees Celsius. Now this is an objective question. Boiling point of methane is minus 161.5 degrees Celsius. It is a colorless gas. The density is less than that of water. It is sparingly soluble in water but soluble in gasoline, ether, alcohol. It is in gaseous state at room temperature. Chemical properties of methane: it is highly inflammable. When you burn it, it forms carbon dioxide and H2O. You may mark that, it is an important question. Chlorination: this is a very frequently asked question. Chlorination is a reaction in which, you may see here, this is methane. It is having 4 hydrogen atoms. If one hydrogen atom is substituted with one chlorine, then it is chlorination of methane. So chlorination of methane is a reaction in which the hydrogen atoms of methane is substituted, is replaced. Okay, it is the hydrogen is removed and chlorine is put there. Okay, so it is chlorination of methane. So methane and chlorine gases react with each other at a temperature of 250 degrees Celsius to 400 degrees Celsius in presence of ultraviolet light and form mainly methyl chloride. Okay, so the point ultraviolet light is very important, and it forms methyl chloride or chloromethane. Again, the reaction is important. Next, uses of methane: in the form of natural gas, it is used in several industries. It is the smallest hydrocarbon. The proportion of CO2 released in the combustion of methane is very small, so it is used as a domestic fuel. Methane is used for production of organic compounds like ethanol, methyl chloride, methylene chloride and acetylene. You have to learn the uses. Now we may move on to the next page, last page, page number 148. Animal dung dry leaves, wet garbage get decomposed by anaerobic microbes. Anaerobic means which work in absence of oxygen, which act in absence of oxygen. Now I'll discuss basically the biogas plant. There is a pit which is dug in the earth. Okay, there is a pit. There are two tanks, one on this side, one on this side. On this side, all the garbage. Okay, this is the mixing tank. The mixing tank means all the agricultural waste products or the domestic waste products. It is mixed in this tank, and it will go through this pipe and enter into this part, which is said to be a digester. Okay, it is a chamber. It is a digester tank. In this tank, the anaerobic decomposition of this particular slurry takes place. Okay, so the anaerobic decomposition means on that waste the microorganisms act, the reaction take place, and methane is formed. The methane which is formed, it will come up because it is a gas, and it will get collected in this part which is said to be a dome. It is a covering. Okay, this covering, there is a connection here. This is a pipeline which is connected to for cooking purposes also, lighting purposes also. There is a knob. When you open this knob, the gas which is collected here, it could be removed. Understood? And after the reaction has taken place, that means we consider, that means after about 2 days or so, that much of methane could be formed. It is a calculated thing, but for you may just roughly understand that after the formation, after the decomposition reaction has taken place, this slurry, this wastage which is left, okay, it is entered, it is pushed into this tank, and from this tank it is used as manure. Okay, it could be used as a fertilizer also. So we may see page number 148. Animal dung, dry leaves, wet garbage get decomposed by anaerobic microbes in a biogas plant. This produces methane gas, also called as biogas. Biogas is a very cheap fuel option, which meets the demand for cooking gas. It is also used for production of an electricity. Biogas contains about 55 to 60% methane, and the rest is carbon dioxide. This is an important fill in the blank. Biogas is a fuel which is convenient to use, and in addition to this, a very good manure is also produced as a side product of the process. The diagram will be given and you will be asked to label the diagram. Okay. Now, biogas production process. This is a 3-mark question which takes place in 2 steps. In the first step, that is production of acids. The microbes act on the biodegradable complex organic compound and produce organic acids. In the second step, the methanogenic bacteria act on those organic acids and convert it into methane, a mixture of methane and carbon dioxide. So it is 2 steps. In the first step, the anaerobic bacteria act on the waste to form organic acids. In the second step, those organic acids are acted upon by methanogenic bacteria to form a mixture of methane and carbon dioxide, which is called as biogas. This is a 3-mark question. Now in the exercise, you may see page number 149, question number 7. This is a very frequently asked question. You may go through the notes, fill in those blanks and learn the exercise completely. So in this chapter, you have to study the properties and uses of diamond, graphite, fullerene, uses of coal, uses of coke, properties, okay, physical properties and chemical properties of carbon dioxide, physical properties and chemical properties of methane, uses of carbon dioxide, uses of methane, preparation of carbon dioxide, okay, the diagram of the round bottomed flask, and the last topic is biogas. Okay, so you may go through the textbook very thoroughly. If you are having any doubt, you may ask. Thank you.